What's up, y'all? You know what time it is? It's about to be that time.
Savage.
What's up, everybody? You know what time it is. It's about to be that time. It's time for One Piece 1119. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a fun week. There's a lot of fun reveals and fun information this week that I hope everybody enjoyed. Let's get these likes up, guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you're feeling the vibe.
Come with me if you want to live.
I don't know a thing about this chapter, which is exciting for me as always. And here we've got chapter 1119, Emmett. Like Doc Brown, Dr. Emmett Brown. Something time related in this? Tomato said red t-shirt Randy is rare. It is rare. But we're dealing with some rare activity. All right. So let's get into this. Okay, we're on page 2. Oh wait, I didn't even. Yamato's doing what now? She's in Kibi, getting pelted with rocks by children who hate Kaido. All right, well, yeah, that hey, comes with the dinner. Okay, page 2. Just go, Stussy. Okay, so Kaku's free. Kaku's trying to double down a little bit on being Mr. Bad Guy. Oh, he's telling her to leave because Lucci will kill her. Oh, wow, we're getting some emotion here. Kaku Stussy shippers. That's some evidence right there. Yeah. They need to get a farm when all this is done. They need to go buy a zoo like Matt Damon. Next page. It's a good dream. It's a good dream. Feels relevant since we're talking about One Piece here. Deep cuts. All right. So now we've got double Nika power here. Bonnie relishing in the fact that she reached into the recesses of her mind and was liberated by Luffy. If you dream it, you can do it. We talked about this last week, and Bonnie will not be the only person to do this in the future of the story. You can trust and believe in that. Okay, so the Marines are putting it together that Luffy is Luffy. The Giants have found their god. It's just an illusion of the age fruit. Is it? Let's see. Know your place. Shoop to whoops, and then let's see. I like this. Luffy shouting some orders to the giants, basically. Listen up, guys. You can't hurt these guys by ripping them up or crushing them. That's fun. Next page. I saw that we're on break when I went to Viz, so I'm hoping that this chapter is a little bit longer than last week's. Okay, so we've got what might be our first Gear 5 balloon. Oh, is he gonna have them, like... So he turned himself into a ball. Is he gonna have them knock him into Mars to send him flying back to Egghead? Alright, I want you to wail on me as hard as you can. There's no other way to do this. As hard as we can, say no more. Frankie's like, say less. Alright. Oda's having too much fun drawing Bonnie. Okay. Dory and Brogy are yelling at their guys to get them to put out the fire on the ship. Okay. They have to do something about that bird. Did we see a Gear 5 balloon against Kaido? I'm kind of remembering. I remember didn't he turn Kaido into a balloon at one point? But never mind. We're gonna go to the next page. What is Luffy doing? What is this? He looks like Saturn. This is ridiculous. Oh, Sanji's not even playing. He went right to Ifrit. Strong impact. Okay. Super size. Nika. Bonnie is has literally recreated. She's doing King Kong gun. Hakied up too. I mean, this is confirmation that Bonnie has armament haki, right? Because I don't think we've seen it up until now. But I think everything that she just did in the first place is not actually her devil fruit, but is actually haki to begin with. But that's for a later discussion. Okay. Oh, this is Ifrit Janbei Hell Memories. That's crazy. Okay. And Luffy's like, that hurts. Oh my god. Yeah, because you hakied it up. Why did you put haki when you're just hitting Luffy? Alright, but anyway, he did say, give me everything you got. Next page. Yeah, this is not an illusion of the age fruit. Look at everything that Bonnie is doing. This is insane. Of course it's gonna hurt if you use haki. So yes, confirmation that Bonnie has haki. Which I feel was like a point of contention. Keep that pressure on, Bonnie. Push him like you're trying to squeeze the life from his lungs. Oh, man. What did Luffy do to you guys? What happened off screen? Next page. Okay. So this is really... this is giving Tankman versus Cracker right now. Oda's just redoing that. Dawn Balloon. Watch it like crashes into the sunny. Alright. That's fun. Next page. Yeah, it's gone, and it can't come back. Well, I mean, it probably could. But, alright. Let's get going, people. Where's Usopp's group? They should be coming down any second now, but they're late. I'll go and see. What? No, Atlas. York is monitoring us. Lilith, we should... The snail's trying to talk? But actually, nothing of the sort. Are we gonna get more of the message? If Atlas goes, I don't know if she's coming back. Wait a second, the chat's saying Frankie Haki? Hold on, I'm going back. I mean, I think Luffy's just talking about Bonnie. Because I can actually see the haki on Bonnie's hip, but I can't tell about Frankie. But I mean, if it is, hey, we're up. So anyway, next page. We got our boy Cat, still at Whole Cake. Chump. This man should be on a boat somewhere trying to find his sister. This is crazy. This man's just chilling. What island is this anyway? Ice Cream Island? We got Moscato here as well. And I forget what the name of this one. It looks like the mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas, what his name is, but yeah, he's there. Anyway, Whole Cake Island. Oh, hey. Which you might consider a will. Back on. What's he talking about? Inherited through the years. We got the queen. It's back. The picture is fixed. Is there a problem with the transmission? There's only a temporary break in the mental waves. Can only pray that those at the mercy of this reason will be able to hear this message. Transmission snail's memory and mental waves work on separate circuits. You have to actually destroy it directly, elders. Oh, wow. Okay, we're getting the end of the message. Shout out to we got Gaimon and Sarfunkel, which is one of my favorite like Oda jokes. Simon and Garfunkel. Bringing it back to Gaimon. Like, this is... I don't know.
It's about to get spicy!
interesting. Next page. Oh, what the? Is it rain or bombs? Neither. It's cipher pole and a bunch of rabble. A bunch of rubble. Are they coming out of the sky? They like soared over. Oh, this is why he like sucked them all in. So I was right. Because I was like, or was I right, or was somebody else? I can't remember. I remember us discussing this, and it was brought up like, was he actually eating them? And I think I remember me saying like it looked like he was eating them, but I don't know. All right, so anyway, we now have Shai Halud here. The Lisan Al Gaib swallowed a bunch of Cypherpole agents and has now launched them onto the boat. So we've got some fodder to play with.
Listen, Al-Gaib!
All right. Oh, the Seraphim are there too. So... okay, this is gonna get dangerous. Next page. Here it comes. Watch out for the suction. Now we're going backward. For sails, use the oars. Enough of that. I like this development because it's like them sending Mars away seemed too easy. It's like let's please keep the danger going here. This is the highest authority in the world. All right, so Luffy punches. Doll is still a child. White giants, monsters, cipher pull from the sky. Is this all a bad dream? And we've got Topman. He's on his way. Check the next page here. There goes the boar. Watch out. How did he get there? He's really sturdy. I don't know. I feel like there's probably a more Luffy-like word than sturdy. Look out for him. He'll smash the ship into pieces. We gotta flee. Oh, Bonnie fell out of gear 5. Freedom is tiring. Oh. Somehow the ancient robot returned. Somehow it can swim. Rising up from the water like Godzilla. Next page. Remember Emmett. Okay, so this robot just socked Topman. Only when the time is right. Is this the name? Is Emmett the name of the ancient robot, or like, you know, like the Frankie of the Void Century or something? Remember Emmett. Only when the time is right. I like the use of this name Emmett because it's got to be Oda making a Back to the Future reference, and the only reason they named Doc Brown Emmett Brown is because they thought Emmett was like, you know, it's kind of like time. There's no I in there, but you spell it out, you rearrange the letters. Time is right. The heck is that? Robo. All right, another 13-page chapter. Womp womp.
You loyal.
Leonardo Martin said it's funny how many people think it's a Back to the Future reference. Why wouldn't it be? Brandon says it's a golem in Jewish mythology. It can be both. Oda is an extreme fan of pop culture. There's no reason why it can't be both. The man has a gigantic life-size statue of a Terminator in his office. Like, he definitely has not only seen Back to the Future, but it lets it influence his story. We're getting more of the message, guys. This is insane. We've got the ancient robot ready to help.
You loyal.
Oda's giving us a climax. He's definitely like he's putting all of the pieces in place for the end of the arc. And honestly, if we had an 18-page chapter, I would have said that the next chapter would have been the last one. Like I basically would have said, like, within 2 chapters we would be done with this arc. But since we keep getting 13-page chapters, I don't know. Maybe we're 4 away. And I'm also concerned that we didn't see anything with Zoro in this chapter. Or Nami and the others.
Savage.
So that's definitely what's coming in 2 weeks, but... Well, boy. Alejandro Salas supered and said, if I was Kaku, that he would have given Stussy a goodbye kiss. Well, you know, we were talking about the shipping of those two, and I believe that, things of that sort have happened off screen, based on the reactions and everything that was happening there. Adamus supered and said, Emet is universal truth in Hebrew. Okay. Kaki09, member for 13 months, said, how strong is this robot to break the boar's tusk? That's crazy. If we're going to power scale, we would have to say that the scaling of the robot is at least equal with the buildings on Egghead. Because the buildings on Egghead were able to rip off one of Saturn's horns and an arm. Or, well, maybe we should say that the Egghead buildings are actually stronger than the ancient robot until we can see him, like, remove an arm. Because at this point, the Egghead buildings are higher. So, yeah. Probably have to put it on, like, our top 30. We'd have to put the ancient robot on our top 30, but I would say under Egghead buildings and sort of around Kuma level. Yeah. Josh Thunder 2, appreciate the 10, said, feels like Oda's been stalling these last 2 chapters for 1120. What does Math Piece say? Well, I remember I was doing a little bit of Math Piece, and Oda's definitely been organizing the cameos based on Math Piece, because, like, the Foxy one was on the anniversary of, like, Foxy's first chapter, I think. Something like that. So we'd have to see what issue number we're at and, like, where that goes. Or I'd actually, like, if I was going to start thinking about Math Piece, I'd want to see when the chapter is probably like 128 or something. No, not 128. Is that right? No, 128 is Little Garden. 153.
Savage.
Whenever Kureha says Will of D for the first time, like, that seems like an appropriate thing to, like, math piece.
Savage.
Let me see if that's right. 153. Okay, so 153 is the Sakura bloom on, but 154 is Will of D. So then I would wiki One Piece chapter 154. That issue came out on October 2nd, so we're not anywhere near that. So, but that's like kind of like the thinking that I go into with some of that stuff. But Gaimon, what was that? That was like chapter 19 or something. Oh no, 19 is the Shanks and Buggy flashback. What chapter is Gaimon? Chapter 22. I was one off. Okay. Chapter 2, yeah, that's January 5th. So that one was just a random one. But then you think of, like, we see Katakuri for the first time in a while, which I'm really disappointed by. Like, it's cool to see Katakuri, but the fact that he's not on the move is so wild. Katakuri was introduced chapter 860. That was in March. Yeah, I don't know. None of this is really lining up with some math piece. So, oh well. Checking out everything else here. We've got Lydia Raven, member for 11 months, said, showing Gaimon and Starfunkel this chapter makes me think that Luffy, for a meme, is sending Mars all the way to their island, just like he did pre-time skip in Orange Town with Buggy. That's hilarious. If they were able to send him somewhere that isn't back to Egghead, that would be a lot of fun. And you'd have to do some random summoning on another island. Or, like, watch he lands on a, like, Harahet Tanya, like, they're summoning another demon, and just like with Brook, he lands in that circle. I could see something like that, too. Shout out to Growth Stocks with the 3-parter here. Growth said, Part 1, the red line was originally green, hinted at in Anel's cover story, with multiple green snakes. Nami said the red line is made up of interlocking islands. Part 2, Uranus is the Emerald City, a floating sun above the green line, and former capital of the ancient kingdom called Lunaria. Chapter 481, Moria used Shadow's Asgard, our early hint at the city lacking a flame.
Savage.
Well, I do like the idea of calling attention to Asgard with, like, Norse mythology there with Moria, which now makes me think more than I've already thought, you know, that Moria joins Cross Guild, and Cross Guild will be part of Elbaf. Growth Stocks Part 3 said,
You
the
loyal.
Tontatas were the gardeners of the Green Line. Chapter 711 referred to them as fairies and the keepers of the green. They are the fourth hidden race on the ancient ruins from Anel's journey to the fairy Vars. Growth, you're a solid theorist, and we've called it out before. A lot of this stuff here is stuff that even if it is true, we're not anywhere close to getting any sort of confirmation on any of this. We have our own headcanon on what the Emerald City was. Like, I still think it was Alabasta. But the red line formerly being green, like, I like that idea. But I don't know if it's going to have been green because of grass. If they're interlocking islands, yes. If it's a reference to Jormungandr, no. It just depends on how far he wants to go into the Norse mythology, but I do really like the reminder that Moria's attack had Asgard in it. That's my favorite part of this, because that's what's like making me think of other things. But we'll see. I mean, it's also kind of like the Tantata. I would love to see them have a bigger role in whatever happens in the Void Century. And then I'd just like to know how they ended up at Dressrosa in the New World from all of that. Oh, Part 4. Shout out to Growth Stocks. Said, the name of the ancient kingdom is Burka. Now, that would be wild and random. The Moon/Tree Kingdom. Chapter 10, SBS, Oda draws a map of the exact area and time period when Sweden's oldest city, Burka, existed. I would love to see that, because I don't remember that SBS. I want to see that, though. Vasil Vladimanovici said, to bring golems to life, you write, and then there's Hebrew lettering there on them, Emeth, truth. To revert them lifeless, you delete character. Aleph, meaning one, leaving only Met, which is dead. I mean, with all of that, that kind of like gets into magic piece a little bit. Like if we started to have them like actually like if there's some sort of like summoning circle, transmutation circle, we start getting into the Alphonse Elric joke that I was making a couple weeks ago. And then on that, you have like poneglyph lettering or something, but if it gets smeared, then it breaks. That would kind of remind me of Miss Golden Week, with the colors trap. Wouldn't be completely far-fetched. But in theory, falling into the water would like smear and break something like Miss Golden Week's color, so yeah. But I do really like that, and that seems to be definitely what Oda's referring to here, outside of an obvious Back to the Future reference. That's the lore behind it. So Vasil, that's the That's the truth of the matter, but I'm sure people have been talking about that for several days now. But thanks for bringing it to my attention in particular. She didn't say, Randy, don't miss out on my boy Parasparrow. Was Parasparrow there?
Savage.
I don't see Parasparrow. I'm looking at both of these panels, and if you're trying to say that the person on the like left of the frame where all of the text is Parasparrow, I don't believe that. And he's not in the second panel where you see Katakuri's face either. Let's get these likes up, guys. We don't even have half of the amount of people in here having liked the stream. It's a little disingenuous today. Come on. Come on. Let's see. Knack D, member for 2 months, said, hey Randy, hope you're having a great day. Always look forward to seeing this every week. Also, the live action castings have been so peak recently, and they will continue to be so. Trust. Brandon King, Superman said, Damalo Black predicted Joy Ball. The Joy Ball is real. Love that. That is true. That is a great, that's great. Oda's really at work there. Three-Day Trip said, what do you think about Warkiri jumping into the sea? Maybe they don't have devil fruits or just strong enough that they're not affected. Well, I have said that they don't have devil fruits from the beginning. And if he's actually swimming and standing on water and everything, which is what it appears to be, and you know he isn't doing like a million geppos to stay afloat, then that would just be further evidence there. Well, the evidence is actually Jupiter, because Jupiter is clearly like using the water to get to them. That is actually legitimately probably the biggest and craziest reveal of this chapter. I think that's the most underrated thing. And it's crazy to think about that it took us, like 20 minutes into the discussion here to like actually even start bringing this up. But yeah, I mean, you could argue that Topman is floating above the water because you can actually see that he's not standing on the water in the on the second to last page. But it feels implied that Jupiter is actually like was swimming in the water with them. So I don't know. Mr. Bushido 56, appreciate the 5, said Zunisha is based off the wandering Juniques are minks are the escaped Hebrews from Egypt. Robot named after a Jewish lore. I see a trend. Carrot is the Moses. Anything to bring Carrot into the discussion, I'm sure. I'm not familiar with that, so I'll have to look into the wandering one there. But yeah, I don't know. You want to see Carrot split the seas, huh? Growth stocks, supered again. Appreciate your growth. Said the ancient weapons are all chariots. Uranus is a pushpaka. Vimana, flowery chariot. In ancient Hindu mythology, it was described as a city resembling the sun and a bright cloud in the sky. So I just looked up what a Pushpaka Vimana is, and it's really interesting. It's like I'm completely unfamiliar with this, but I'm looking at one image that basically is like it's almost like a bird ship house. And interestingly enough, the little rotunda like room area that's on the tail kind of reminds me of part of the Thousand Sunny. So you might be cooking in the way that like this is inspiration that Oda is pulling from. I don't know if it'll turn out to be Uranus, but that's really fun. And then there seems to be like some like some versions that aren't actually a bird, but are actually like technological advancements, very steampunky. I could see Oda going in that direction as well. Marcel Nelson said, so Frankie has haki. Unconfirmed at this time. The confirmed thing is that Bonnie has haki, which up until this chapter was legitimately unconfirmed.
You loyal.
Let's see. Catching up here. Three-Day Trip said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Listen to 3-Day.
Savage.
3-Day says, unless Emu has the ability to remove curses, maybe of the sea or Mother Nature. I mean, if it is a thing where Emu is literally the sea devil, then yeah, they would probably have the ability to say, okay, I remove this curse. You can go in the water and retain your power. But what is more likely at this stage of the game is that these individuals are literal yokai. Or we get to a point in the story where through haki, you're able to break the curse. So if you know, it may also be a thing where it's like, you know, like I've said, no one ever told Bonnie she couldn't be a giant, or Nika, so she did. Everyone tells you if you eat this fruit, you can't swim, so immediately your brain processes that. What if Luffy, you know, in that moment, instead of saying like, hey, I don't know how your power works, Bonnie, but I'm pretty sure you can do it. I'm pretty sure you can swim. Just in the same way that she turned into Nika, she would probably also swim. Like it's breaking that mental barrier, and it's just like, what, I'm fine. But because you think it, you drown. I don't know. I that might be the case too. Let's see. Brandon said, thoughts on Sanji telling Bonnie to follow Captain's orders? Does this imply Oda's implying he's going to have Bonnie as the next crewmate? Almost definitely. Definitively. I don't know if we can ever say anything is definitive with Oda and crew members. But, like I said last week, and like I'll also be mentioning in the video that I've already shot and is going to come out, and I'll consider if I need to like add some stuff to it based on this chapter, but it can go either way. And I do think the things look good for it, and I do think at this point that it would be fun. So whereas I was like 51% leaning Revolutionary Army personally, like what I thought would be better for the story, now I'm probably like 51% crew, 49% Revolutionary Army. But I don't mind either way with which way the story goes. I only care that we get Vivi back. Demon Gunner 7 supered and said, hey Randy, hope you're doing well. With summer here, it's said to be a great time for travel. Got any plans? I heard Africa is nice around this time. At this point, don't know if I have any travel plans. But I also don't necessarily need to travel. Dawn Knight 1993, member for 18 months. My guy said, like, comment, subscribe, share on social media, tell your grandma about it, approach random strangers on the street, and share. Joofy D. Loy-boy said, check out page 8 of chapter 1062. 1062. That was, wasn't that the first, like, real chapter of Egghead when we, like, got onto the island? It's 1061. No, 1061 was when we, the chapter that ended with Bonnie in the eddy, right? 1062. Page 8. We're on the surface again. Let's go and find some food. Oh, right, I met Sabo and Marie-Joie. I don't need to bring that up now. Wow, what is this place? A giant robot? Everything's flying. And a space monster. So, are you saying that we now have a giant robot, everything's flying, and we're just missing a space monster? And we also need Bonnie to tell Luffy about Sabo. The page that Juffy is talking about is the very first like spread inside of Egghead when Luffy, Jinbei, Bonnie, and Chopper first arrive. And Chopper decides that he no longer needs to be Amigasa Chopper and takes the hat off, unfortunately. Adamus says, every other translation has Luffy saying along the lines of, all of you are using haki, of course it hurts. Well, the official keeps it vague, so I don't know. Here, look, like, I'm a huge Frankie fan. Do I want Frankie to be confirmed, be a confirmed haki user? Absolutely. But at the same time, like, we see a little bit of the fist, and it like, when Sanji's saying captain's orders and he goes Ifrit Jambe, like, you can see that Sanji is hockeying up his leg. You can see that Bonnie is hockeying up her, like, version of King Kong gun. Frankie doing strong impact has no haki on it. So 2 out of the 3 people are using haki. Jack said, are you okay, brother? Why wouldn't I be? What's wrong with me? Chin bringing up something that I did want to talk about. Bonnie doesn't turn into an old woman after Gear 5, but instead turns back into a kid. Is Oda hinting something? I think so. I think so. So, my take, and what I'm going to stick with until Oda, you know, like, definitively tells me something, is that Frankie did not use haki here. But it would be great if he did. Juffy Zolo-boys Super Again said that I think there's a parallel with current events. I mean, we do. It's the same thing. Like, a lot of people look back at when Vivi was on. What was it? Chapter 823. She's on her way to the Reverie, and Igaram is shouting things at her. It's like, careful, a giant bird could scoop you up. You know, what happened to her? She's now with Morgan's. But then there's also, like, 2 other elements of that. Like, a sniper could, you know, train their sights on you. So it's like, I don't know, is there a sniper that's going to, like, try to attack Vivi? Is Van Augur going to get involved with this in some way? And then there's, like, a third thing. I can't remember what it is. But people have definitely looked at that after the Morgan's reveal and thought that, you know, the other 2 things that Igaram said will turn out to be true, which is a style of writing that Oda refers to. So going back to 1062 and looking at the thing where it's like, everybody's flying, there's a giant robot and a space monster. So it's like, if we do end up in this arc with a literal space monster, or we find out later on that all of the Gorosei are space monsters. Greg F said, "Hey Randy, my sister said you have a cool wanted poster." Thanks. Shout out to Max Doro, who did the art for that, and for the the entire reverie that we did the thumbnail and the artwork for everybody on that poster. Link should be in the description, and they do commissions. Love seeing the ascends in the chat. Axel the 98G, Randy, any complete videos you had to scrap? I've scrapped a bunch of videos over the years, actually. Like, I'll start editing them, and then, I'll think that my energy was too low in the video or something, and then, or I'll think like, you know what, I don't know if I have enough evidence here to, put this out, or I'll feel like the timing of this video, like I took too long to edit it or something, and it's like no one cares about this anymore, so I'll just throw it away. Like, I know I did a whole video on just Robin being a D and Robin being Luffy's brother like 2-3 years ago, and then I just never put that out or never finished editing it, and then I just put it into the Luffy's lineage thing, because I was like, yeah, you know what, if I'm gonna do this, I might as well like do the complete big thing instead of just like these little mini things. I did like literally like 4 versions of the Cross Guild Davy Back video over the past 2 years that I was gonna put out, and then re-edited and reshot for whatever reasons. I remember shooting a bunch of footage of like my collection for another collection tour, but then didn't put that out because I was like, it's probably only gonna get like, it's probably just gonna hurt the algorithm. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of videos. I do that a lot, actually. Let's see. Miguel, what future storylines do you think are possible with Lucci begging for his friend's life and Stussy still wanting to be their friends after her betrayal? Well, like I said, like I think if we see an epilogue of the story, I think it would be really cute if it's Kaku and Stussy like as like a couple or something. Like they worked out their differences and Kaku was able to free himself from the government, which I don't think he actually like actively wants to be a part of anymore. He's just sort of playing a role and like being there for his buddy Lucci.
Savage.
But as far as like main story, unless Stussy like gives some sort of speech to the two of them that is like intended to turn them against the government, I don't really see any point to it. I think this might be the end of that for a little bit. She's just gonna leave, and Lucci and Kaku are gonna have to, just get out of there. Very motivated Superudin said, who's been your favorite of the One Piece live action season 2 casting of the characters that have been announced so far? Easily David Dastmalchian as Mr. 3. When it was even a possibility that we could have him. That was great. I love that actor. He's been a part of like just about every single one of my favorite franchises, and in a lot of my favorite movies. So I'm really excited for what he's going to do. But I think like everybody that's been announced so far is great, and everybody that hasn't been announced so far is great. But definitely, flood the chat with who you're excited about, because I'd love to see that as well. Barry said we all freaked out over Mr. 3. That's such S tier casting. Yeah, no, and he really wanted to be involved because he's a fan, and so is his son, if I'm not mistaken. Barry loves Clive Russell for Crocus. Blackfish Tully. Yep. That's going to be great. Brandon, like Tashi and Smoker's casting. Cool. Yamil said Dorian Broggie seemed cool, younger than expected. Well, I mean, take into consideration that even though they're 160 years old, when you factor in their lifespans, that's really only like as if they're in their 30s in human years. So that's, kind of the factor in there. For giants, they are young. Did I hear that they cast Free Willy as Laboon? I did not. But hey, that's a big get. S tier. Nice. Barry likes Tashi's actress. She was great in Fear Street. Yeah. Chrissy and I did enjoy Julia's work in Fear Street. She was one of the standouts for us, for sure. Said I told Dizza that it's wild seeing characters like Dalton in major news headlines. It's very surreal. I mean, it's a character. Dalton, just because these are characters that don't pop up as much doesn't mean that they weren't important for the stories that they were involved in. Adamus said, I want Danny DeVito as Wapple. Danny DeVito is in his 60s or 70s. Wapple is like 27 or 29 years old. So you don't get Danny DeVito, but you have Rob Coletti. And that's going to be great. So does everyone agree that the ancient robot is Emmett? or there are people that are on the fence and think Emmett could be someone else. Because I think that this is at the end, it's the ancient robot remembering something that potentially Joy Boy said to him, saying, remember Emmett, his name, only when the time is right. Time is right. And when we get the Void Century flashback, we will have the other side of that. Most people agree that Emmett is the robot, so that's the way that I'm leaning, and that's my interpretation there. That's a good point. Brandon said also these are Joy Boy's first words. Do you expect his voice actor and who do you expect his voice actor to be in the anime? Mayumi Tanaka or someone else? Mayumi would be interesting, but if that's the case, if these are Joy Boy's first words, Oda may feel inclined to introduce us to Joy Boy. So it's like if Toei is supposed to feel justified getting like a big name voice actor to play Joy Boy, for an eventual flashback, Oda may feel inclined to like introduce Joy Boy sooner so that they have a little bit of an idea of who the character is so that they can voice it. So maybe we are getting Void Century flashback. I mean, not that Oda needs to tailor everything to that, but maybe. Got to be the lurking legend, Mr. Narrator. Well, the narrator already voices Smoker. I don't think that it needs to be Luffy's voice actor, but it would be interesting if it was Ace's voice actor. It should be someone that already played a D, but not Luffy. Mary's voice actor, that's interesting. Danny DeVito would have been a great Gaimon. Yes. Win 5 Ton said, why did we see Smoothie and Mont d'Or and Katakuri at different times? Just Oda spreading out the character cameos, or are they separated? They're likely separated, but that doesn't mean that they're on the move somewhere. It could very well just mean that they're on different islands in Totland. There's like 50 different islands there. So, I'm highly disappointed that, all of this stuff happened. Pudding is, off somewhere with the Blackbeard Pirates, and none of these Charlotte family members are like, hey, we gotta get her back. That strikes me as really odd. I'm not on board with that. Let's see here. A little bit of chair piece. Be right back, guys. Drop some likes. Okay, we're back. Let's see. Shin said we need more cast reveals. Yeah, they'll happen. You know, but it's also nice to spread things out. Otherwise, you get a big helping of something and then have nothing for a really long time. So, just enjoy what's been given to you now. And trust there'll be more. Rob Schneider as Lucci, that's terrible. Like, you know, not to be offensive, you know, but that's terrible. Alright, so let's see. Taking a look back at the chapter, a little bit of a reread here. So we've got, you know, Bonnie does this massive attack and then falls out of the form. Saying freedom is tiring. But see, in the video that I've already recorded that's going to come out, which when I do put it out, you know, please like and comment that so we get back into the algorithm, because I've been so busy with work that I haven't been able to put out videos for the past 2 chapters, which I apologize about. But you know, it's a lot of things going on. But with this video, it's talking about how I believed that what Bonnie is doing here by turning into Nika in the first place is haki. And I said this knowing that it had not been revealed that Bonnie even had haki. But now that we see that Bonnie does have haki, it actually makes it even better. So I really do think that, like, we're going to get a bunch of Nika powered people. That this is Oda's Super Saiyan. This is not something that is exclusive to Luffy. It's not exclusive to Goku. But I also believe that it's not going to be exclusive to Saiyans either. And that non-Devil Fruit users, as long as they have haki, should be able to achieve this. That this is the pinnacle of human evolution, not just Devil Fruits. And reasons like this are why Kaido said that Devil Fruits don't matter. It's all about haki. So and I feel like this chapter helps my case. Ryro says, I think it'll stay exclusive to Luffy and Bonnie's imitation, personally. I do not, but that's okay. Because the other thing, too, here is that while Mars calls it an imitation in a way, it's clearly not an imitation. Because if it was an imitation, she wouldn't have the power that she has. She would just look like it. But here she's able to access, like, the exact abilities. The exact goofiness. So Chin says Bonnie has Conqueror's haki then. I don't think it needs to be Conqueror's haki. I think it just needs to be like it's a form of enlightenment in a way. This is Oda's like extreme version of opening your third eye. We all have mental processes and blocks in our mind that say you can't do this, you can't do that, or anything, but that's what Oda's trying to break down in the story. He's trying to tell people that you can go after your dreams, that you can do things. If you truly believe in yourself, you'll be able to do it. You have to break down the conformities that, you know, block you. And that's what Bonnie did. She let go. This wasn't give me a Nika-ish future. This was give me a future where I'm the most free. It was definitive. She broke down the blocks. She became Nika. This is something that I believe other people will be able to achieve. Barry said it's a contagious virus and Luffy is patient zero. Exactly, which is why the Gorosei are afraid of this. Because they probably fought against a bunch of Nika-powered individuals in that war, but just like what happened to Bonnie, where she fell down because it was too tiring, they probably lost the war because no one could hold on to the form. Aether says, I think that idea needs to cook some more. Well, you can watch the video where I actually talk about the idea for, 15, 20 minutes and break it down even better than, the spark notes of what I'm giving here, because I don't want to give it all away on the stream. Volkazard said, also did Topman stop at the water's edge because they do have devil fruits? No, I don't think they have devil fruits at all. I mean, they might, but it doesn't matter. They are actual yokai. For whatever reason, the water doesn't affect them. Because Jupiter, it is very implied that Jupiter used the water to get there. So... What's up, Lagoon? Oh yeah, the vid's gonna rile people up for sure. Because it's definitely something that a lot of people have their own thoughts about, like that they don't want.
You loyal.
Of that. Seal Vlad Ivanovici with the super appreciated said go equals 5, moo equals 6. Yep. Strongly believe that 1156 will give us Joy Boy's face reveal. Maybe begin the Void Century flashback with a single panel at the end. I mean, that'd be fun.
Savage.
That would be like in 2026. with the pace that Oda's going. Because what, by the end of this year we'll get no, maybe at the end of 2025. Let's see. We've got half the year left. We started at 11:03. We're at 11:19 now. We'll probably get to maybe 11:30 if we're lucky. Let's see. Red Hood 52, member for 17 months, said also, Bonnie and Luffy is similar to Shanks and Roger. Yes. But one of the key things here is that, you know, Oda's making a, I believe Oda's, like, making a view at generations. So...
Savage.
Whereas, you know, the way that Shanks groomed Luffy to become, you know, this version of a pirate, Luffy doesn't feel the need to do that with Bonnie. You know, like the tough love thing. Like, hey, in a few years, like, you'll get there. He did that with Tama, but, you know, with Bonnie, like, she's already, like, proved herself and she's out on the seas, so it's just like, hey, just turn into Nika. And she's like, okay. So it's like, it's a different mindset. Roadstock Super and said, Joy Boy's character flaw is going to be that he was a hero. It's possible Joy Boy created the Marines as pirates for justice until the world government co-opted it. Yeah, so whereas like Luffy doesn't view himself as a hero, and he's just kind of moving through life, Joy Boy was potentially like a real hero, or believed himself to be that. Maybe. Yeah, that's interesting. Jody List with some cap said Bonnie has better character development than Vivi, Yamato, and Carrot combined. Bonnie's least favorite food, carrots. You could argue Yamato and Carrot, but you cannot say that for Vivi. Vivi has some of the best character development in the entire series. Go reread Alabasta Saga. Appreciate that, Cooper. Enjoy the parade. 3 Day says the drum beats for Luffy and in Bonnie's form are a little different. How do we know that? Let's see, we've got Doom da da da. Doom da da da. No, they're the same. At least in this first panel, they're both of their drums are exactly Doom da da da. So did like TCB translate those differently or something? I'm trying to find another part in the chapter where we would hear the drums or see the onomatopoeias and things. Everything in the official is Doom da da da. So they have the same beat. The ending notes in the Japanese RAWs. Well, I mean, I'd love to look at a translated version of that, but as far as the official Viz is concerned, every drum has been translated exactly the same. and the characters that we can see do look similar. I'm not seeing a difference in the characters. Luffy's foot's in the way, but, you know, from what we can see. Leonardo Martin said, Randy, would you like the anime remake to keep the same voice actors for us, or have a completely new cast? All I know is that for the English version of the remake, I would love if they use the live action actors. So, like, that Nami is voiced by Emily, Luffy's voiced by Iñaki. And then it doesn't matter, like, how far the live action gets. Those we'll get to hear those actors say the iconic lines later on. But I have no say in decisions like that, and I don't know if that's something that they're actually going to do. But I will speak it into existence. What's Vivi's favorite and least favorite foods? Her least favorite food is I forget. I knew what it was. It's dried squid or something. Red Hood 52 Super and said, also, Randy, could you do your Jeff Goldblum impression for Joy Boy's voice? Why specifically for Joy Boy? Now remember, Emmett, only when the time is right. When the time is right, yeah, but only when the time is right, Emmett. Don't do it before, because that's not what Joy Boy wants. Oh, okay. But time finds a way. Yes, Emmett. Oh, we're gonna just give it 800 years. 800 years, you're gonna see. There's gonna be another warrior in white. He's gonna feel very, very liberated. A lot of people are gonna be liberated, and then you'll know. You'll hear those drums. You know the drums. You'll know that's the time. Had to work in the singing because Jeff he can't help himself. Ryro, yes, that's what I'm saying I want. Reddit 52 said, I feel liberated. Barry said, you know, I've never seen Jeff and Randy in the same room. I have. I have multiple photos with Jeff. And there is a video of me that someone recorded when I was... Jeff wanted me to do my Christopher Walken impression for him in front of him, and someone recorded it and sent it to me. So I have a secret video of that. Oh, it's just Photoshop. I need to play that for us. I need to find that video. Where is that? Let's see. Whoops. Yeah. No, someone said that it might be on my IMDb page. That would not be on my IMDb page. Yeah. So I worked with Jeff. Was it 2018? It was the second AD on a movie called The Mountain. And Jeff is as iconic as you can imagine. We both got to celebrate each other's birthdays because we're within like 10 days of each other or whatever while we were working. It's really, it was fun. I have a lot of really like great memories of working with Jeff Goldblum. I think one of the craziest things that happened was and I actually think it might have happened like the same day as this video that I'll show you guys. But I was in the costume room talking to the costume department, you know, just making sure everything was ready for different things related to the movie. And they were listening to the John Williams soundtrack. And, you know, I think it was like the Cantina was playing and then it ended. And then it was on a random shuffle and the Jurassic Park theme song happened to play because it was just on a John Williams loop. And out of nowhere, like as the music starts playing, like Jeff just magically saunters into the room as the Jurassic Park theme song is playing, and he starts singing on top of it. Because why not? And he's Jeff Goldblum, and he's just like, it's just like, Jurassic Park, don't get eaten by a dinosaur. And I was just stunned, standing there like, what is life? What cosmic like pieces had to fall in line that I'm standing right here in this moment for these things to overlap, for him to do that, and for me to witness it. Goldblum approved. So there you have it. You guys have seen Jeff Goldblum and Randy in the same room. But of course, it's AI. That's just a deep fake. It's not real. No, Chrissy was not there. Is there an actor that I haven't met that I would want to meet? I guess Keaton, Michael Keaton. I haven't met him. Michael J. Fox. I'd love to work with Arnold again. 'Cause I didn't really have a lot of interactions with him. Yeah. I don't know. That's probably it. I don't know. I've kind of I feel content also. Like I've worked with and met so many like people that I've admired growing up. It's fun. Anything that you can dream of in this world can be reality. Willie Gallen, paraphrasing. Have I met Danny DeVito? No, I haven't. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Am I going to do a theory for theory next week? Yeah, that would be the goal. So drop some names in the chat. We'll probably start wrapping the stream up here because we're starting to talk about things that aren't One Piece again. And when we're doing that, that means, you know, hey, probably said everything that we need to say about this for now. So. Jay or Cole, yeah. We just had both of them recently, so I don't, you know, that's a lot to ask of their time to have them come back. King Recon, maybe. Has it been a year since we had Recon? Because I like to keep like a year in between theory for theories. You know, unless it's like a multi-collab type thing. I'm going to check the date on when I had Recon. I feel like it was last summer. It was like right before the season 1 came out. Let's see. Yeah, we had the coach June 25th, 2023. Yeah, it's June 30th. I think it might be time for the coach. Might have to run some plays. We haven't had Brago in a while. The last Brago one-on-one was like October 2022. September 30th, 2022. Yeah, I like the idea of recon. Oh, has AJ caught up yet? I know that he was at the last I saw on Twitter, the Bonnie flashback. Because I definitely want to have AJ on for Theory for Theory. He read 1119. He's caught up. Oh, that's crazy. Tomato said, favorite moment of the stream, Randy making me believe he's actually power scaling buildings in the ancient robot. That's crazy that AJ's caught up. So that might be. I'll reach out to him. You know, if we can't, I've already had a conversation with AJ too, like a year ago, several months ago or something. Like I don't know, because he followed me, and then I messaged him and I was just like, hey man, look, sometimes I talk about the manga and I don't want to spoil you. So, but I said, you know, when he catches up, I'd love to do a collab, and I'm pretty sure he said yeah. So I've been waiting for that. Growthstock said, I'm D King, I think, step back from OP. Really? Has he not been putting out content? So I'm thinking, I'm heavily leaning towards AJ. If you guys haven't been, if you're not familiar with him, he's, I think he's a great content creator that's been catching up to One Piece over the past like year or two, and very analytical, very smart mind, someone that I'd like to spar with. And of course, we love the coach over here. So Zach hasn't put out in months. Well, hey, I wish him the best, and I hope that he's found something that moves him. Growthstock said Parvision or DAC is solid. Well, we literally just had DAC and Parvision very recently, like in the past couple of months. Like in the past 3 Theory for Theories, 2 of them have been both of those individuals. So we're not gonna abuse those guys. But yeah, so we'll get. I'm gonna reach out to AJ. I'll reach out to Recon if AJ's busy. And I also like the idea of talking to Brago about a lot of this. Does anybody know what Brago's thoughts were on the Bonnie thing? Because at the same time, I also feel like I'd like to talk to somebody who doesn't like this development, so that we can kind of like talk out the reasons of what's good and bad about it. He got overwhelmed by Katakuri. That's right. Katakuri showed up in this chapter. he wasn't too fussed. Girlsong said, I don't think Braco really liked it. Alright. Those are my 3 choices. I'm gonna weigh between those. Look for a community post that'll announce that. Look out for a video in the next 2 to 3 days, talking about all of this like Bonnie stuff and sort of addressing the community on why this is an interesting development for One Piece and why I think this is actually like Oda's plan from the start anyway. So so we got that. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be something that I think is going to rattle some people. But I think if people let the video cook, they'll see where I'm coming from with it. So, don't know if I'll do like a dedicated chapter video. I think I'll just put that video that I've been working on out. Nothing that I said in it contradicts what this chapter did, because I try to stay pretty broad. Yeah. It's fun. And I think that's going to wrap things up for today. And look at that, we're right about on time, right at the 2-hour mark where I feel like we're done. So thanks as always, everybody, for tuning in, for sticking with me, for bearing with the fact that there haven't been any videos for the past 2 chapters. Again, apologies for that. And then we're just going to keep at it. We'll have Theory for Theory next Sunday, and we'll be back for 11/20 the following week. Yeah. So, thanks everybody, and I will see you soon.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.